Welcome to today's lesson. Our objective today is to subtract two numbers across a 10. This will involve an exchange. So here are your warm-up questions. Pause the video here and then we'll go through the answers afterwards. Okay then, so I hope those questions were okay for you. Let's go through the answers together. So for question 1, 562 in our part whole model is the whole number, and we've partitioned it, which means splitting up, into 502, and we need to know the missing figure. Well, as you can see here, we haven't included the 6 tens, so the answer is 60. For the second one though, you notice that we've still got the 500, but we've instead got 12 ones. So, which means our tens is going to be 10 less. So the answer is 50. So don't hope you didn't get caught out on that one. For question number 2, we've got 375 equals 200 plus something plus 5. Okay. Now the way to work this out was to add the 200 and the 5 together to get 205, and then take that away from the 375, and you're left with 170. Or you could have noticed that if we'd added 70, because we're missing the 7 tens, we were 100 short, so then you add the other 100 on top. So there are other ways of doing things. And for question 3, we've got 11 ones minus 5 ones is equal to so many ones. Well, this is just the same as saying 11 take away 5, which equals 6. I hope those are okay for you. Let's move on to the main lesson. So here we've got 451 take away 325. Now, we always start with the ones, and we've got to be careful here because as you can see, the highest number at the top, 451, the ones is less than the ones underneath. We've only got 1 at the top and 5 underneath. So what the common mistake people do is still do 5 take away 1 to equal 4, but that would be wrong. What we have to do is add a 10 into our ones column. So we need to borrow from the tens. Okay. And this is called an exchange. And this is how we do it. So if we use our place value chart, as you can see, we've got 5 tens in the tens column at the moment. We're going to exchange one of those for 10 ones. So we place them now. So as you notice, that 10 has disappeared from the tens column and has been replaced by 10 ones in the ones column. And this is how we show it in our column subtraction. We cross out the 5 in the tens column because we don't have 5 anymore, and we write the new number in its place, 4, because we've got 4 tens. And to show the 10 ones that we've added into the ones column, we write a little 1 in the ones column. So now we have 11. Now we can do the subtraction. So 11 take away 5 is 6. Excuse me. And now we use our new value in our tens column. So 4 take away 2 is 2. And then we do our hundreds. 4 take away 3 is 1. Okay, and you can keep that language that simple. You don't have to say 400s take away 300s. Just say 4 take away 3. As long as your digits are in the correct columns, you'll be absolutely fine. And this is why it's so important we're really neat in our workings out so that our digits stay in the correct columns so their values don't get affected. Now, how do you know when an exchange is needed? So let's find out. Okay, if we have a look here, and we're starting with the ones column, you can see that the top number, digit, is bigger than the one below it. So we don't need an exchange because 4 take away 3 does equal 1. And as you can see, we can carry on for the rest of the sum, and our answer is 111. If we look at the second sum though, we've got 234 take away 125. And if we look at the ones column, you can see that 4 is less than 5. So when our top number or digit is less than our bottom number, we need to do an exchange. And we're going to do exactly like we did before. So we're going to reduce our digit in the tens column by 1. So in this case, it becomes a 2. we write that just to the left-hand side of it and make sure it's smaller than the original digit. And then we put a little 1 next to the 4 to make 14. Now we can do our takeaway. So 14 take away 5 is 9, 2 take away 2 is 0, and 2 take away 1 is 1. So our answer is 109. So now it's your turn to have a go at questions 1 to 4 on the worksheet. So what I'm going to do, I will go through the first part with you. I will then pause the video and you can answer the other part of this, and then I'll do the same for 2, 3, and 4. So for question 1, 254 take away 123. So actually, I'm going to go through C because, I'll give you a clue, the other two parts don't need an exchange. So I want to show how to do the exchange. So here, okay, we've got 254 minus 125. Well, as you can see in the ones column, the 4 is less than 5. So I need to exchange a 10. And I'm going to use the place value chart to show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to exchange one of these 10s. So cross it out for 10 ones. So I'm going to put that 10 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? And I'll show that on my column subtraction like this. I cross the 5 out. I'm going to reduce it by 1 because now there's 1 less 10. 5 minus 1 is 4. And I'm going to now, because I've got the 10 ones in the ones column, I put a little 1 next to the 4. So now that reads as 14. So 14 take away 5. So I'm going to cross them out again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now I'm doing the 10s. 4 take away 2 is 2. And 2 take away 1 is 1. So that's how you answer that question. So I'll just zoom out so you can see all 3 questions. Pause the video here, and then we'll move on to question 2. Okay, so question 2, it says, which calculations need an exchange? So if we look at these, okay, we're just going to focus on the ones column. And remember, it's always if the top digit is less than the bottom digit underneath it. And we're only looking at the ones column here. So have a look at all 3 and then decide which one needs an exchange. Pause the video here. Okay, now that you've worked out which one needs an exchange, complete the subtractions just like you did before. I'm going to do 1 just to show you. So here, 8 take away 4 is 4. 5 take away 4 is 1. And 6 take away 1 is 5. That one didn't need an exchange. I hope you spotted it. Pause the video here to complete the subtractions. Okay, moving on to question 3. You've got to work out all the subtractions. Again, I'll go through 1 just to show you how to do it. So 2 take away 6, I can't do. So I'm doing question B. That one needs, oh no, I can do question A, sorry. I'll do from the beginning, A. So 5 take away 8, I can't do. So I'm going to borrow a 10. So I'm going to reduce the 10s by 1 and put a 2 there. I'm going to put a little 1 next to the 5. And now I have 15. So 15 take away 8 is 7. 2 take away 1 is 1. And 7 take away 2 is 5. Pause the video here to complete the rest of the subtractions. Okay, moving on now to question 4, which is on this second sheet here. Right, so Tom works out 453 minus 218. Okay, what mistake has Tom made? Now, in order to work this out, we're going to rewrite this calculation as a column subtraction. So 453 minus 218. Okay, now that it's written like this, can you spot the mistake Tom has made? Pause the video here. Okay, I hope you managed to spot the mistake Tom made. Now let's move on back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so Alex has 243 marbles. Alex has 135 marbles more than Dexter. So how many marbles does Dexter have? Okay, so let's unpick that. So we know how many marbles Alex has in total. She has 243. We don't know how many Dexter has. We do know that Alex has 135 marbles more than Dexter. So to work out what sum we need to do, let's put this in pictorial form. Okay. So there's Alex's total of 243. This is Dexter's unknown total here, and this is how much more Alex has. So it's the gap, the difference between the two. We know there's 135. So to work out how many marbles Dexter has, we're going to do 243 minus 135. Okay, so you can pause the video here to have a go yourself. And if you're ready, and when you're ready, unpause it and we'll go through the answer. So we're going to exchange. We need to exchange a 10 because the 3 is less than 5. So we cross the 4 out and we reduce it by 1 to make 3. And we write it there. We put our 10 on our ones, and now we've got 13 ones, and we take 5 away to leave 8. Now using our new figure for the tens, we do 3, take away 3, which equals 0, and then the hundreds, 2, take away 1, equals 1. So Dexter has 108 marbles. I hope you got the same answer. And now we're going to have a go at questions 5 and 6. Okay, so question 5. Ribbon A is 262 centimeters long. Ribbon B is 129 centimeters long. What is the difference between the two ribbons? Now, before we move on, I'm just going to highlight this key word, difference. Okay, if you ever see that word difference in a question, it means takeaway. So it's a good clue about what to do. So we're going to work out the difference, and we're going to work out this gap here. Okay, so this time I'd like you to write the column subtraction and work it out for yourself. Pause the video here, and then when you're ready, unpause it and we'll move on to question 6. Okay, question 6. 2 classes are raising money for charity. Class A raises £118 more than Class 4. Class 4 raises 426. How much money do the classes raise altogether? Okay, now this is a 2-part question. Okay, so to work out what to do, sorry, I'm just pausing. Stand cool. Class 3 raises 118 more than Class 4. Class 4 raises 426. Oh, we've got a bit of an addition question here, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay, so let's go through what we know. So we know that Class 4 has raised £426. Class 3 has raised £118 more than Class 4. Okay. So what we're just going to add these two together. Sorry for the pause on that. It's throwing me a little bit. Class 3. Actually, I'm going to move on because this question seems more of an addition question rather than a subtraction question. So we're going to move back onto the PowerPoint. Okay. What are the missing digits? So we've got to be careful with these because we know we're dealing with exchanges and we're going to have to use the inverse operation. Okay. So having a look at it here, we don't know the top two digits, the hundreds and the ones for the first number, and we don't know the middle digit for the answer. Okay. Now we know that when we're doing a subtraction, okay, that our answer is less than what we began with. Now, normally that would be the case for missing digits. However, we know we're dealing with an exchange. So pause the video here and have a think about what the missing digits could be. Okay, so let's have a go through the answer and see if you were correct. So something ones subtract 5 ones is equal to 7. Okay, so to work that out, we add the two together. So 5 plus 7 is equal to 12. That's what we call using the inverse. Okay, but we've got a problem. We can't write 12 in the ones column. So working backwards, okay, we know we've got to have 2 in the ones column. And we're going to use the exchange. So we cross the 4 out and write the 3. And then we can write the little 1. So just make sure you've shown that in your calculations, because you're going to need that to work out the missing middle digit here. So now we can do 3 take away 2 as normal equal 1. So 110. Okay. And then again, working backwards, because we've got the answer for the hundreds now, we're going to do 1 plus 4 equals 5. So 500 take away 4 is equal to 1. And now it's your turn to have a go at the rest of the worksheet. And hopefully the questions will be subtraction questions. So moving on to question 7. Okay, work out the missing digits. Okay, so I'm going to do the first one with you together and then pause afterwards and you can complete the second question. So we're looking at A. We need to work out what the ones are. So we're going to use this principle here of doing the inverse, because we've got the answer, to work out what the ones are. So 8 plus 5 equals 13, but I can't put 13 in the ones column. So I'm going to put the 3 in the ones column. I've got to get this 10 in there. So to do that, I need to complete my exchange and then write the little 1 in the ones column. Okay. Now I've got 13 take away 5, which equals 8. Then, now I've done that, I can complete the rest of the sum. So 6 take away 0 is 6, and 3 take away 2 is 1. Pause the video here to complete the second part. Okay, and finally, the final question. We know, always read the question twice, okay? So the subtraction needs an exchange. So I'm going to highlight this here, because that tells me I need to put an exchange in, okay? So what could the missing digits be? Okay, so think carefully. Because there's an exchange, we know that this number needs to be bigger than this number, or digit, sorry. Okay, so this digit needs to be bigger than this digit. Okay, this one must also be bigger than the 2. Okay, but we're not doing exchange as such. But you need to show, but it needs to be bigger than 0 so you can, or bigger than 2 so you can do an exchange. Okay, so think carefully. Pause the video here to complete the question. Okay, welcome back everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. What we're going to do now is go through the answers together. So I'm just going to reset the worksheet. And here's question 1. So 4 take away 3 is 1. 5 take away 2 is 3, and 2 take away 1 is 1. B, 4 take away 4 is 0, 5 take away 2 is 3, and 2 take away 1 is 1. And we've already gone through C together. Okay, and it has a final bit at the end. What is the same about the calculations and what is different? Well, 2 of them didn't need an exchange, whereas the third one did. Okay, so question 2. So I hope you spotted for A that this one and this one needs an exchange because these digits had the smaller digit on top with the bigger digit underneath. Now that we've spotted that, we can answer the questions. So we're going to do an exchange. So 13 take away 7 is, oh, sorry, 13 take away 7 is 6. 1 take away 1 is 0, sorry, and 3 take away 1 is 2. We need to do another exchange here. So 17 take away 9 is 8. 3 take away 2 is 1, and 4 take away 1 is 3. So there's the answer to question 2. Question 3 now. So again, we're going to need to do an exchange. So we do like that. We reduce the tens by 1 and put the tens in the ones column. So 12 take away 6 is 6. 7 take away 3 is 4. 4 take away 1 is 3. And again, notice my language. I'm literally just reading the digits as they are. As long as I've kept them in the correct columns, the values stay correct. So over here now, reduce the tens by 1, put the tens in the ones column. 15 take away 9 is 6. 0 take away 0 is 0. And 4 take away 1 is 3. For D, again, another exchange. Reduce the tens by 1. Put the tens in the ones column. So 10 take away 4 is 6. 7 take away 6 is 1. And 3 take away 1 is 2. Okay, excuse the pop-up. Okay, looking at 5 now. Oh, no, sorry, looking at 4 even. So here was the column subtraction. Now, to get an answer of 245, what they've done, here, I'm going to write this in a different color because it's wrong. They've done 8 take away 3 to equal 5, but that's wrong. What they should have done was do the exchange. So 13 take away 8 is 5. 4 take away 1 is 3, and 4 take away 2 is 2. Okay, now you'll be like, probably saying to me, but David, look, it's still 5. Yes, it is. But if you look at the tens column, that's 10 less than the answer they gave. Okay, so sometimes, yes, it will work. That's the beauty of maths. Sometimes you would still get the same answer for the one part of it, but it makes the rest of it incorrect. So you still need to make sure you use the correct method. Right, let's look at question 5 now. So it said 262 centimeters is ribbon A, and then ribbon B was 129. So we're going to take that away to find the difference between the two. I can't do 2 take away 9, so I do an exchange by reducing the tens by 1 and increasing the ones by 10. So now 12 take away 9 is 3. 5 take away 2 is 3, and 2 take away 1 is 1. Now, because this is stated units, we need to include the units in our answer. So it's 103 centimeters, okay? Which would have gone there anyway. Okay, so look at this worksheet gives the units anyway, but it's good to remember to include them anyway. We're going to answer question 6, which threw me because it says altogether, which is an add. Okay, so class 4 has a 426, class B has 118 more. So we need to add those together. I know this is subtraction, but I don't like leaving blanks. So we're going to add them together. 6 plus 8 is 14. So I put 4 in the ones column and a 10 underneath. The 2 plus the 1 is 3, plus the 1 we carried forward makes 4. And 4 plus 1 is 5. So class 3 has raised £544, but it said how much do, and I'm going to highlight this, both classes raise altogether. So we need to add the two totals. So 426 add 544. Just make mine neat, there we go. 6 plus 4 is 10, so I put 0 in the ones column and carry the 10 forward into the tens. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus the extra 1 makes 7. And notice when I do that, if I've got more than 2 digits added together, I break it down. I add 2 digits together, then I add the next one. And finally, 4 plus 5 is 9. So my answer is £970. Okay, moving on to question 7. We did question A. For B, again, we're going to work backwards. So 6, because we're missing a number in our workings out, we're going to do the inverse. So I'll write this down. 6 plus 5 equals 11. And cool. 6 plus 11. Sorry, I'm just having a moment. 15, take away 9. Right, sorry, that's not how to do it. Apologies. Okay, did the wrong sum there. We're going to add. Okay, so we know we're going to have to do an exchange. So what we're going to do, sorry, sometimes it's good. When you make an error, you've got to question yourself all the way through and go, hang on a minute, that doesn't work, because I know that needs to be bigger than 5 to leave the 6. So what I did was I worked out that if I did an exchange and made that 15, I then did 15 take away 6, which equaled 9. So then that was why that became 9. So apologies there. 5 take away 5 equals 0. Okay. And again, because we're doing the one exchange, this is where I add the 2 together. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. So that digit becomes 6 there. Okay. And then question 8. Okay. So there are lots of possible answers. Okay. I'm just going to go through one today. So if I make this 8, for example, okay, what do I take away from 8 to equal 3? So I'm going to add these two together. So 8 plus 3 equals 11. So I'm going to put a 1 there. Okay. So now I'm going to do the two parts. If you have a look at this, you might think, oh, it's 3, because 3 take away 2 equals 1. But I've got to do the exchange. So I want to end up with 3. But because I've got that 1 here, it's a bit like an addition. I add it on, I carry it forward. So that is actually 4, which I then exchange to make that into a 3 to show my 11 there. So that's one possible answer. I'm sure you have many. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Please like and share the videos. It really does help me out, because the more audience I can reach, the more opportunities I can do to do more of these videos. If you're interested in one-to-one tuition with myself, please, I've got my email address in the description below. Please send me an email, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.